It's powerful for English fluency and mindfulness at the same time. Describing what I see around me. Long English speaking script. Hello, everyone. Right now, I'm going to simply describe what I see around me in English. I'm not rushing. I'm just observing, thinking, and turning my thoughts into words. This is a great way to train your brain to think directly in English. Let's begin. I'm sitting in a quiet room. The first thing I notice is the light. The light in this room is soft, not too bright, not too dark. It feels calm. There's a lamp in the corner, and the light from the lamp spreads gently across the wall. It creates a warm and peaceful feeling, like the room is giving me a small hug. In front of me, there's a table. The table is not very big, but it's enough for what I need. On the surface of the table, I can see a few objects. There's a notebook lying flat, slightly open, as if someone was writing and then stopped. Next to it, there's a pen. The pen is simple, black, and smooth. It looks ordinary, but it has the power to turn thoughts into words, ideas into plans, and dreams into goals. I also see a cup. The cup is sitting quietly near the edge of the table. It's empty now, but I imagine it was filled with coffee or tea earlier. The inside of the cup is slightly stained, showing that it has been used many times before. It reminds me of slow mornings, deep thoughts, and peaceful breaks. When I lift my eyes a little, I see the wall in front of me. The wall is plain, but not boring. Its color is soft and neutral. There are no loud decorations, just a calm background. On the wall, there is a clock. The clock is round, with thin black hands that move slowly and steadily. Every second, the ticking sound reminds me that time is always moving forward, whether I notice it or not. To my right, there's a window. The window lets in natural light. Through the glass, I can see a bit of the outside world. The sky today looks clear. It's a gentle blue, with a few soft clouds drifting lazily. The clouds don't seem to be in a hurry. They just float, as if they have all the time in the world. Below the sky, I can see the tops of some trees. The leaves move slightly with the wind. The movement is slow and natural, like the trees are breathing. Sometimes the leaves shine when sunlight touches them, and they look almost golden for a moment. Back inside the room, I notice the chair I'm sitting on. The chair supports my back and feels comfortable. It's not a fancy chair, but it does its job well. I can feel the texture of the seat under me. It's firm, but not hard. It reminds me that comfort doesn't always come from luxury. Sometimes simple things are enough. On the floor, I see a small rug. The rug has a simple pattern, nothing too complicated. Its colors are soft, matching the peaceful mood of the room. When I look at it, I imagine how many times people have walked over it without even noticing it. Yet it's always there, quietly doing its job, making the floor warmer and softer. There's also a shelf against the wall. On the shelf, I see books. Some of the books are standing straight, others are leaning slightly. Their covers are different colors: blue, red, white, and brown. Each book holds a different world inside. Some might contain stories, others knowledge, others inspiration. Just looking at them makes me feel curious. Next to the books, there's a small plant. The plant is green and alive. Its leaves stretch outward, as if reaching for the light. The soil in the pot looks dark and rich. This plant doesn't speak, but it tells a story about care, patience, and growth. Someone waters it, gives it light, and in return, it brings life and freshness into the room. I can hear a few sounds around me too. The room is mostly quiet, but not completely silent. I can hear a faint sound from outside, maybe a car passing by in the distance. The sound comes and goes, like a wave. It reminds me that life is happening everywhere, even when I'm sitting still. Sometimes I hear a soft hum. It might be the sound of electricity or a machine somewhere in the building. It's a low, steady sound, almost like background music for daily life. It's so normal that I barely notice it, but when I pay attention, it becomes clear. The air in the room feels still and calm. It's not too cold, not too warm, just comfortable. I take a slow breath in, and I notice a very light smell, maybe from the wood of the furniture or from the air coming through the window. It smells clean and neutral, nothing strong or distracting. When I look around more carefully, I start to notice small details. I see a tiny scratch on the table's surface. It's not very visible, but it shows that the table has been used. It has a history. Maybe someone placed something heavy on it or moved something across it. These small marks are like memories left on objects. I also notice how the light creates shadows. The lamp in the corner makes a soft shadow of the plant on the wall. The shadow moves slightly when the leaves move. It's like a quiet dance of light and shape. Shadows make the room feel deeper and more alive. On the shelf, one book is slightly pulled out compared to the others. It looks like someone recently picked it up and didn't push it back all the way. That small detail makes the room feel human. It feels lived in, used, and real, not perfect, not staged. I glance back at the window. A bird flies past quickly. I only see it for a second, but that moment adds life to the view. It reminds me that outside, there's a whole world moving, flying, working, and living. Inside this room, everything feels slow and peaceful. The objects are still. The sounds are soft. The light is gentle. It feels like a place where I can think clearly, relax, and just be present. Now I notice my own reflection faintly in the window glass. It's not very clear, but I can see the shape of my face and shoulders. It reminds me that I am part of this scene too. I'm not just observing the room, I'm inside it, breathing in the same air, sitting on the same chair, sharing the same space. When I focus even more, I realize how many small things I usually ignore. A tiny bit of dust floating in the air, visible only when light hits it just right. A slight crease in the rug, a small mark on the wall. None of these things are important, but together they make the space real and unique. This room may look ordinary, but when I describe it slowly, it becomes special. Every object has a purpose. Every corner has a feeling. The table supports my work. The chair supports my body. The lamp supports the light. The window connects me to the outside world. Even the empty spaces matter. The blank wall gives my eyes a place to rest. The quiet air gives my mind space to think. The simple design makes the room feel open and calm instead of crowded and stressful. As I continue looking around, I feel more relaxed. Describing what I see helps me slow down. It helps me notice the present moment instead of worrying about the past or future. This simple room becomes a reminder that peace can be found in ordinary places. Now I imagine someone else walking into this room for the first time. What would they notice? Maybe they would notice the plant first and think the room feels alive. Maybe they would see the books and think the person who lives here likes to learn. Maybe they would feel the calm light and immediately relax, Every space tells a story about the person who uses it. And by describing this space in English, I'm not only practicing language, I'm also telling a quiet story about daily life. I look again at the clock on the wall. Time is still moving. The hands have changed position since I started speaking, but the room still feels calm. Time moves, but this moment feels steady. I take another slow look around. The table, the cup, the notebook, the pen, the shelf, the books, the plant, the window, the sky, the trees, the light, the shadows. Everything is part of one peaceful picture. And the more I describe it, the more details I see, and the more connected I feel to the present moment. This is the power of observation. This is the power of simple English. And this is how describing your surroundings can train both your language and your mind at the same time. Take a deep breath, look around you, and try it too. Your world is full of words. You just have to slow down enough to see them.